Both Charlene White and Linda Robson broke into tears during Thursday's Loose Women when the panel discussed Boris Johnson's lockdown parties. Charlene, 41, revealed in a heartbreaking account that she had been unable to hug her family at her great-aunt Dell's funeral during lockdown and couldn't hold back tears as she shared the tragic account. Linda, 63, welled up when reading out a letter that had been sent into the show by a viewer whose mother had died alone during the pandemic as restrictions prohibited family visits. Breaking down as she shared her account, doting mother Charlene explained, "My family stuck by the rules. We had to bury family members without being able to hug each other. I had to sit in a crematorium where my aunt was buried. Because I wasn't living in the same household as my brother and sister and my dad, I was in a pew by myself with my baby daughter on my lap and we were all in floods of tears." She continued, "I stood by the graveside while grave diggers were filling the grave and my cousin was in floods of tears and not being able to hug her because we're following the rules. We have a situation like this, and you think should I have just hugged my cousin?" Charlene's great-aunt Dell passed away from COVID-19 at St. Thomas Hospital in 2020. Writing for the Mail on Sunday shortly after her beloved aunt's death, Charlene explained, "As soon as my Auntie Eleanor's name flashed up on my phone, my heart fell. I knew what was coming. I silently answered, to hear her sobbing, and barely able to speak. After weeks of trying its best to take her, COVID-19 had won. My great-aunt Dell was gone." Just days earlier, her son Winston had been able to briefly talk to her in her hospital bed, via video call. She'd seem better. But then a second wave of the virus took hold, and there was no more the doctors could do. Of her aunt's vivacious spirit, Charlene added, "Aunt Dell was the youngest 82-year-old I knew. She loved to travel the world and was off to Cuba in September. She wasn't meant to go like this." Linda then shared a letter from a woman named Kelly that read, "My mom passed away in 2020. We tried to see her every single day, but when we arrived we were turned away as loved ones weren't able to visit. She passed away on her own without any family with her." It comes after the Prime Minister finally admitted on Wednesday that he went to a party in No 10's garden at the height of lockdown in May 2020, but argued he thought it was a work event and technically within the rules. At a stormy PMQs yesterday, Mr. Johnson said he wanted to thank staff at the event in May 2020 but recognized that in hindsight it should not have happened. He said he understood public fury and took responsibility, but that he believed it was a work event. "I bitterly regret it," he added. In the wake of Boris' comments, other families whose final farewells to loved ones were hit by lockdown rules have called for Johnson to resign and accused him of lying about the number 10 garden party. Meanwhile, Scotland Yard is under growing pressure to investigate the Prime Minister for potentially unlawful behaviour after he admitted attending the party at number 10 during lockdown. More than 17,700 people were fined by the Met for breaching COVID laws during the pandemic, including 113 for holding a gathering of more than 30, figures show.